Hello, everyone. Welcome, Complexity Gaming. How you doing, Complexity Gaming?
Hello.
Great. Hello.
Fantastic.
Yeah, great. Our job today is to come up with new ags that can work in the game. I have an ags for every hero, and your job is to balance it and tell me how good my idea is. And they're all great. Thank you. Moo!
Hey.
Are you ready?
Sure.
What's your favorite hero, Moo? Who needs a new Agnum Scepter?
Hey, give me Timbersaw, man.
Timbersaw Ags! What a
New
surprise.
Ags, please.
Fantastic. Check this one out, Moo. You're going to love it. After you purchase Ags, all the creeps on the map turn into trees. And they still spite. They're just like tree-ants models on Nature's Pride. And you can hook to the trees, you can cut the trees, instant creep wave.
Can I drop my axe after I buy it, or do I have to hold it?
I suppose you could. You could backpack it.
Yes.
It has other effects too.
Oh.
You could get it for tree protector. Then he could walk with creeps because they're trees. Think about it.
This sounds really bad.
There's no hope in saving your monkey.
No, it's gonna
Stand on
Monkey King cannot stand on creeps.
This is a detriment. I can't hook anything then.
What are you talking? You can aim it and insta farm creep waves.
I can already do that.
Oh. Let's move on. You know, this is a great idea. Mo, keep thinking about it. Don't worry.
I have to keep thinking about this?
Yeah, you know, we'll revisit you.
I don't want to.
Okay, great.
Can we
All
go
right,
for
what
it?
do you got for me, buddy?
Let's do techies. I think that's my favorite here. Oh wait, that's your favorite.
Yes,
here.
correct. Yes.
All right, let's do it. Let's hear what you got.
Techies Ags. All right, this one's great. You guys will love this one. It just reverts Techies pre the patch where it makes those annoying ass noises when he steps on proximity. That's literally it. It just
Can
reverts
I
the
edit
patch.
this?
Yeah.
If I buy Ags, techies gets deleted from the game. How about that?
That's cruel and unusual for a lot of fans that you have. So,
I would like that.
okay. Well, we'll just move on from that point then. Thank you very much. What do you got for me, Z-Freak?
I'm trying to get comfy! God!
Monkey King needs an axe.
Oh, God! He does. Okay. Monkey King Ags, if I remember correctly, was just, I think it just made it global. I'm sorry. I didn't think of anything good
How's
for
that?
Why
that.
would you want that?
You can't. You have to be inside of it.
Well, yeah, but you
Are you
can't,
saying
you
you're
can't
removing
escape.
that?
Yeah, it's just global. Everyone gets hit for the duration.
What if Monkey King with Ags spawns like a Monkey Queen, sort of like Ice Climbers?
Whoa!
And now all of his spells are applied like for half damage, like when you cast them. So like there's another monkey's leaping on top, another monkey has like the staff.
Oh, yeah, like a
You
red.
get her Jingu stacks too.
Like the Dizzlers. Have I told you guys about the Dizzlers?
Is this the Dazzle axe?
Yeah, it's Dazzle's eggs. When Dazzle gets an eggs, two little guys spawn called Dizzlers. And they walk around and you can control them and they do a poison pat to people. They just walk over and pat them and it applies poison
And you
touch.
can heal bomb with
And you can heal bomb with the Dizzlers.
That's better than his current axe.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
And
So
then
I
they
got
have, he has a new ability called My Nizzles, and then they teleport back to him.
Now you're losing.
Alright. Anyway, I think we came up with some real great ideas here. You can watch out for these new ones in the next patch. I'll be quoting this video with complexity when they happen. Thanks everybody for watching another episode of Exceptional Ideas.
Brilliant. Brilliant per usual, Slacks. Thank you for that creativity. Why he hasn't been hired as a game designer or balancer, I have no idea.
We will never know. How long are you going to leave that Pain Gaming hat on the stage until you stop feeling guilty about the flaming them?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. You know,
Okay.
just riding it out, getting a little bit of extra apologetic branding in there.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. You guys have any good axe ideas?
I think any idea I can come up with on the spot would be better than Slax's, but
I hope someone asks about Ursa, because that is one of my favorite Slacks Ags ideas. And I won't spoil it, but we'll plant the seed.
I like the Zelda copyright infringement.
Oh,
music.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Whoa, whoa! Hey, this is a
Jack,
family show, Jack.
Everybody
Come
knows
on.
if YouTube's algorithm doesn't catch it, that means it's good.
I did not recognize that tune at all.
No, it was
I think
a-
that was an original composition by Sir Action Slacks. He's actually a musician too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very
Musical
good.
talents. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2, Vici Gaming, Complexity Gaming square off. Vici leads 1-0. This is do or die for Complexity. Their life in the tournament hinges on a victory in this match.
So let's have a look. There's a lot of good supports this game. That's the one thing that stands out to me. We've seen Bane banned by Complexity here, but there's Undying, who's a lane dominator. Night Stalker is available. Shadow Shaman. We've got Winter Wyvern, which has been available in a couple of games, but unpicked, I believe, this tournament so far. We haven't seen a Wyvern that I can remember anyway.
He did get some semi-recent nerfs, so maybe that's part of it, but little bit worse, that laning.
I still think it's a pretty good hero overall. We have a hero that I believe only Complexity has played this tournament. Morphling is in the pool.
There's another alarm bell hero here that we usually
Medusa.
see banned. It's the
Arc
Arc
Warden.
Warden.
Yeah.
Arc Warden as well, yeah.
I think they're gonna force. I don't know. They'll probably make Complexity ban it.
Who plays it in Vici Gaming?
Ori.
Ori plays Arc mid. Yeah, this hero's pretty awkward in mid, but it might work.
But there are some answers for it. There's the PL and there's the CK as well. So
Yeah,
you're not as urgent to take away.
absolutely. Yeah, Chaos Knight is a hero that you need to keep an eye out for because it's a lot less good heroes with AoE. In this game, there's a couple of somewhat good solutions to him. Sand King is in, Invoker. I guess Winter Wyvern can still be used in that regard. Medusa is the best core counter pick, which I could even see banned by either team now. I think Medusa is just extremely powerful when there's limited pools, but as you mentioned, there are a couple of counter picks available. Maybe the Phantom Lancer can be pretty good against Medusa. Is there any mono burn except EMP?
There's a
There's a Slark as well.
There's a Lion. Slark is... I don't know if Slark really is a counter to Medusa that much. It's like, historically it's been pretty good, but Medusa's speed is just really high now compared to what it used to be, and Slark hasn't really followed that same trend of ramping up his farm a lot faster compared to other heroes.
He's a little under the radar, though, just because of Hexes being so strong. So I feel like if you pick Slark in the right games, he's still as good as he used to be, but you like in Captain's Draft, I think this is the place to make Slark better.
His one big weakness, Slark, is that he can't really farm Ancients very effectively. That's been something that's been a trend on the rise with heroes like that Medusa, who's very easily able to farm stacks. We've seen Gyrocopter being very popular in Captain's mode as of late too. Slark just has a couple of limitations there, but he has some really good core matchups also in this game, so we could see it being run. Brewmaster's in again, by the way.
We will see a Bloodseeker against it. But yeah, the CK feels kind of countered in this pool, so it's a little bit different. So they banned away, Complexity banned a couple of these bullying force supports that Vici plays a lot, but Elder Titan is still in the pool for them, so it's something they've run pretty comfortably.
Yeah, Spirit Breaker, Night Stalker, also a lot of good 4s and 5s still available. Rasta, Lion, even the Winter Wyvern down there at the bottom. I think it's that mid pool where it feels particularly limited. I see the Invoker, but as we saw yesterday, Invoker doesn't really feel like he's in a very strong place overall.
Medusa.
And
we had a mid Kunkka yesterday from Mineski. If Ori does play Arc Warden mid, that's an option. But I would say overall, like just from a role perspective, all right, they do not think PL has a counter in this pool. There you go. This is a bit of a secret type thing. First picking the core that they feel like is the strongest available.
Vici highly values this as well, so I thought they probably would have taken it early on as well.
I actually like this pick in this pool. I think it's pretty good. Vici will be looking towards some sort of way of dealing with these illusions or planning to end the game early. Shadow Shaman could be a possible way of taking towers together with Brewmaster. That would be the faster approach, that you get those two together and try to outplay PL on tempo. You also have the Dispel with Brewmaster's ultimate, which is very good against PL illusions. Alternative plans are to try to core counterpick it with something like Sand King would be a good option. There we go. And then we'll see, that's the Brewmaster that's coming up. So now they have, this could be a core Sand King. Sand King with farm can actually annoy Phantom Lancer quite a lot. If you start getting really farm, you get items like Shiva's Guard, has great AoE damage and control against PL.
Feels like a safe opening for Vici. Both of those heroes are kind of flex picks and could play a variety of roles, but both very strong, a lot of good reliable stuns and crowd controls, good mid-game team fighters.
I would like to see Complexity not give Vici Gaming Shaman here. I think Vici Gaming's strategy looks really strong if they get Shadow Shaman as well. There we go. Nice.
Okay.
Good choice. So this is 2 melee heroes showing from Vici Gaming so far. It makes a couple of heroes more interesting. Darkseer is good against melee heroes. Winter Wyvern. Monkey King is in the pool as well as a potential option. I don't think you want to pick Monkey now when you've already shown your PL, but we could see them take one of the 4s now for Z-Freak. Maybe the Night Stalker Silence is pretty good this game, actually. I believe Z-Freak... No, it's mainly Kyle playing the Kunkka, right? They do take Darkseer. Okay. Fair enough. Good lane matchup so far for Darkseer, so definitely fine.
Yeah, they want to put him against the Brew if the Brew ends up being core. Or Sand King as well.
So Sand King lane is fine as well. Sand King is not the worst melee hero against Darkseer because you can like stand on the edge and Sandstorm and you have Caustic Finale to try to counter push with a similar speed, but Darkseer will win that lane if he plays properly for sure. So I'm liking Complexity a lot more in this game already than in the last one. I think relative to what is in the pool and what they have a much better fighting chance here. Let's see if they can round it off nicely here after we see the next 2 picks from Vici Gaming. Wonder what Vici are looking for if they want to have a good matchup against Darkseer in lane. There is still the Bloodseeker available, who has an innately great matchup against that Seer. Monkey King can play the lane if he has help, but it's not great.
Is Arc Warden on the radar for Vici? I feel like I still have trouble identifying situations when Arc Warden is the pick, but they go for Medusa instead.
Regardless.
And Dazzle.
So a little surprising they pick Medusa against the PL because they'll obviously get Diffusal Blade, but it can work. He could even do something like buy Aghanim Scepter it'll one-shot any illusions it hits. So I think not conventional, but it's possible.
I don't think Medusa is actually that afraid of PL later on. I think there's a early mid game where you're afraid of the PL with Diffusal, but I think once you get up the items, once you get to Mjolnir, you're not really that afraid of the PL. The illusions die really fast.
Level 25 Dusa is very strong against PL.
Okay, that's a good point.
Pretty late.
But I feel like the difference is that even in late game situations, Medusa still has to seriously worry about getting quickly mana drain. Because if they initiate on her first, in a normal game without a PL, she has tons of time. But if there is mana drain and she's out of position, she will die almost instantly. So maybe Dazzle protects against that partially. I could see Dazzle working out here.
I agree. I think this is way much more of a timing game in that PL versus Medusa matchup. Also because we're talking about how Complexity should not let Vici have the Shadow Shaman, but Vici has chosen a different way of activating their Brewmaster for taking towers. With this Weave and the Medusa, they're going to look to push. And even if Phantom Lancer has a Diffusal Blade, the illusions can still be taken care of at that point. Like, he's not combat ready into all of this AoE of Brewmaster and Sand King at that point, as well as Mystic Snake. So Vici Gaming will maybe have this window from 15 to 25 minutes where they can push towers unless Complexity safeguard themselves. I like the Monkey King pick a lot for that reason. He's ready to fight early using that Darkseer as well.
He'll be a pretty good dual lane with Darkseer, just in the laning stage. Like, Monkey King is a little... He's not what he used to be.
Do you think he's a 4 this game? They could put PL mid.
That's kind of what I was thinking. There aren't great mid options.
Are you think he's going to farm? Or do you think
they could. Farm? Okay, you're right.
So,
never mind.
They're
not playing Ursa
I
4.
think Vici might just get the Slark, actually.
I don't know. I don't think you want to Slark against Shadow Shaman. I played it the other day. It's awful. Like, no matter what happens, you Hex Slark right off the bat.
Damn,
and then it's going to outweight your Dark Pact, and then you Shackle him afterwards. It's really bad to play Slark versus Shadow Shaman now. You'll have to, like, rush BKB after your first Shadow Blade.
What's the next best option, though? I mean, CK comes to mind, but that feels super greedy with a Medusa.
It's actually not that bad here.
I mean, CK
not
Dazzle
perfect
is
either.
A pretty classic combo.
Dazzle is part of the reason that Vici picked Dazzle as well is that it's a support that can deal with Darkseer in lane. You can push out the wave with Shadow Wave, so you can actually activate a different core that would usually hate playing against Darkseer just by helping him push the wave.
What do you feel about a core Wyvern in this game?
For Vici?
Very interesting. They're a little melee
Offlane Wyvern and then safe lane the Sand King or Brewmaster?
You guys think Bloodseeker isn't good enough here?
I think Bloodseeker is pretty good. I like it.
Like, Rupture against either Ursa or PL or Darkseer. Rupture on any of those guys is really effective.
I like this pick. So. I kind of think Complexity should have actually taken that hero. I was looking at that. I think both Bloodseeker looked interesting. I was looking a bit at Morphling as well, but maybe that's too greedy. You know, they're playing PL mid with Morphling. Maybe they don't have enough play potential, but...
It fits way better on Vici, I think. Against, like, a Dusa, I don't think Rupture is really that needed. Most of the time she wants to stand still and be focused anyways, so...
Yeah. But then you vacuum her.
That's
and then you have Force Staff.
You could get some damage that way. No, I think Ursa is a lot better.
Predictions here, boys? Who's taking game 2?
I think I'm going to do the cheap and safe thing and go for Vici, because I think they played way better than Cole did last game, regardless of picks. So I do still like the Cole draft. I think the Cole draft is pretty good, though. I think it's better, but I'll go with Vici.
I will go for Complexity this game, I think. I think the draft is good enough. I don't know if the Ursa was the perfect pick, but I think it's good enough for this given game, and I think PL will have a good time. For me, for Vici Gaming to win, I think the Bloodseeker needs to do a lot, which could happen. He has a pretty good lane matchup, but I'm feeling Cole here.
Before I had the series 2-1 for Vici, I think that's still going to be the case. I think Complexity's going to take this game. I like their draft a lot more as well.
All right, I'm going to go in the Vici camp also. I'm going to side with Purge, but we'll see what happens. That said, we've got 2 casters to take it away, and this time it's Sunsfan and Brax for game number 2.
Thank you, Zyori. Sunsfan here filling in for Mott. Brax, how's it going, buddy?
I miss Mott.
I know, I'm so sorry for this. So we have a split panel. Vici versus Complexity. This, of course, if Complexity loses this game, they are out of the tournament. And this series is huge.
It is.
Single elimination, 8-team single elimination bracket. That means 1 game, 1 series win, you get points.
It feels like seeding matters so much more than single elimination.
For sure. Whose lineup do you like more this time?
I like VG Gaming's lineup.
Why?
Just because I think they have a laning advantage. That's it.
In what way?
So the Bloodseeker's really good against Darkseer in lane.
is you can sustain through the Ion Shells. Of course, there is the Monkey King that he can get paired up with to deal with him that way, because he has to Blood Rage himself, right? Or he has to Blood Rage the creep, which is probably what he'll do, so he doesn't have any chance of dying to these two heroes.
You don't think he'd have a chance of dying with Monkey King in the lane?
No, not a level 1.
What if you get Jingu Mastery level 1?
Oh.
And Orb of Venom.
Wow.
You think that would be a good strat?
No. He's just going to get clicked by the other hero in lane.
We'll see. We'll see who's right. Analyst. Ori and company going to be taking this bounty run top. In fact, they're going to get the... Is this going to be a split? It's the old-fashioned split, I believe. So Young 11 on the Sand King this time around. Ori, Medusa. Now, if you go for late game this time around, do you have a different answer than last time? As far as who has a better late game?
I don't know how good Ursa is going to be in this game. It's hard to say because there's a lot to deal with, right? With Ursa, you can get ruptured, then you're kind of stuck there. In the team fight, there's also super single target based. So you're fighting into Shallow Grave. Medusa's already super tanky as well. And when you have a tanky hero like that, she can just stand in the front, and then it becomes really hard for Ursa to find the angles on these other heroes.
Lan again playing that Brewmaster, position 4. Quite effective last time around. We talked about how Primal split. Once you get it, you're kind of like the old Panda. You don't have to rely on it as much though, which is a huge benefit because it's such a.
That's true.
It's typically that spell like once it's down, all right, now we push. Now
when
we
he's in
advantage.
a core position, it feels like lineups are dependent on it, right? Exactly. But it's kind of an extra.
Yeah.
So.
If you find a way to counter, that's nice. But again, it's just your position 4, so you don't want to spend too many resources doing so.
Exactly.
Well, so Dazzle, Sand King versus Rasta and Ursa. And of course, Young 11 with that early level of Caustic Finale going to be annoying the crap out of Chessie. How do you expect that lane to go?
Definitely in favor of VG. It's super hard for Ursa to harass melee heroes into a creep wave with Dazzle nearby, unless of course you can get the wrap around like this. He's level 2 now. They're both level 1 still.
He's
pinging the creep to get level 2.
Indeed.
There it is.
He's going to right-click Young 11. There's a Burrow Strike on top of him, though. Trying to take advantage of that Caustic Finale. There's a very early Shallow Grave, in fact.
Kyle,
he's definitely committing. His level 1 of Ether Shock. That might be enough. One more right-click will do it. No, it's going to be close. And it looks like Kyle will fall the Burrow Strike on top. And Vici Gaming somehow turned that around. And Young 11, I have no idea how he lived, but that was a close call for sure.
So close. It's one of those things that can go either way, honestly.
Well, there we go. All right, Young 11 is going to get healed again. Burrow Strike on top. The Monkey King not doing enough damage. Of course, only level 2 right now. Fenrir TP's away. Kyle.
Unable to get it.
Not able to get vision for that shackle, unfortunately for him. Bottom lane in the meantime, Paparazzi getting chased by Moo with that Ion Shell. We have some TP support coming in the form of Brewmaster. And Moo.
He's hasted, okay.
Yeah, he's hasted. He's going to take a lot of right clicks.
He's no clap, though. He's got the haze.
Oh, you're right. Haze and the passive. Very early levels here.
That actually sounds really annoying to deal with, just hazing a lane as a support hero.
Oh, we have the Balance Strike into the shackle. One more right click should do it, and Complexity is now on the board. 2-1 advantage for Vici.
It's really important for Complexity to stabilize their safe lane. Otherwise, once Sand King gets a bit of levels, it's going to be too difficult for Shadow Shaman to stay there. And then he'll probably have no place on the map to get experience and gold, so very, very important to get that kill.
Z-Freak's going to be running around on that Monkey King. When that hero first came out, he played quite a bit of it, and that was when position 4 Monkey King was very standard.
Yep.
And very OP.
Oh yeah, that's when the Primal Spring didn't make that noise every time you cast it.
Oh yes, is that the biggest nerf you got? It might be,
No, the scaling on it got changed a lot as well.
Oh, that too? Yeah. Well, I think every skill got nerfed, technically.
Yeah.
You can't bash in the ult anymore. Of course, his talents are pretty freaking good for jumping on trees, though, if you want to go for that. Or you could go the damage route. Here's an interesting counter treat, to be sure. Z-Freak. Oh, looks like Kyle's going to get Shackle off. Shallow Grave's still available. Young 11 Burrow Strikes to safety, so this has turned into a try for now. But Young 11 is going to be fine.
This looks like a pretty hard tri lane for Complexity to deal with. Like, the level of commitment they need to kill the Sand King is just, I don't think they can put it out. They always have to fight through the heal, the grave as well, and then it's just too much damage to soak up.
Let's talk about Medusa versus PL, because on paper, you look, PL was picked first, and then you pick Medusa into it, and they kind of work against each, like they counter each other to some degree. You got PL with the mana drain once you get that Diffusal Blade. Of course, Medusa Stone Gaze destroys illusions very quickly.
Yep, and you also have the AoE from Split Shot and the Snake.
Yeah. Oh yeah, talk about the interaction with Mystic Snake on illusion. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you steal mana from each illusion, so you pretty much replenish your mana bar.
Yeah,
so
it's
it's super tanky, but at the same time, he does more damage to Medusa because of all the mana burning.
Indeed. Oh, we're gonna have a jump in here from Z Freak. It's not gonna be enough to actually get the kill on Paparazzi, but he's very low. In the meantime, top lane, we have a shackle on the Young 11. Burrow Strike will miss. Kyle dodging it. 2v3 right now in this top lane.
They just can't stick on any targets though. The haze counters at Ursa so hard.
Yeah. I mean, Ursa in general just feels like this very one-dimensional hero. If you have the right heroes to actually work against him,
I wasn't sold on the Ursa pick, right? You have the Brewmaster Haze in the early game, Shallow Grave, and then even Rupture later on in team fights so you can't maneuver around.
Yeah, but they did need some burst damage of some kind.
It's true. It also gives them the Roshan factor too.
Exactly.
So
that is very true.
Does
Limp right
some
now
good things.
In the mid lane, 21-5 versus the 25-9, so relatively even, all things considered. Who would you favor in the early game? Like, are you surprised by the CS discrepancy at all?
No, I think it's pretty normal. I think that PL has some kill potential on Medusa with gank rotations and that kind of thing, but if it doesn't happen, Medusa starts to pull ahead in some levels.
Right. Lanham coming in, getting his mana pot.
This right here is the big lane that Complexity should feel like they want to play around, right? You have the Darkseer Ion Shell with another melee hero, but it's still not an easy hero to kill at all. He's always full HP.
Yeah, I mean, especially once that Blood Rage got to level 2, then it's very difficult to kill him. And the fact that he has a 2-level advantage right now in that bot lane is pretty ginormous.
Yep.
And with that Rupture online, the question is, will he just stick to farming, or do you want to actually use Rupture in another lane?
I think that VG just want to play around this top lane for now, and then Bloodseeker may make some rotations if people start to, TP in there, but he doesn't want to really leave, and he's just going to wait for people to come to him probably.
Yeah, we have a Shackle now onto the Sand King Chessie. He's dealing a lot of damage, but knowing that Shallow Grave is available deters him from being very aggressive. Burrow Strike now being applied, trying to save his teammate East Chessie. It's not going to happen. There's a Shallow Grave onto Young 11. He's continuing the right clicks. He might actually go down here. Nope. Pops the wand and will live through it and get another kill. So 2-0 Vici Gaming. Off to a great start in this game.
Yep, 11 buildings for the lane as well. Goes for the treads instead of any other, like a initiator style of build where he just rushes the blink. So it's good.
So what can Complexity do to get Ursa back in this game? So you talk about the Roshan. It's a little bit early for that. I mean, technically you can do it, but it's going to take a while.
We're talking about the Roshan at 7 minutes in the game. It's not good.
So do you put him in another lane, perhaps? I mean, bottom lane's not going to do so well against Bloodseeker, I would assume, and then...
The thing is, nobody can really lane in that lane, so...
That's a tough
It's pretty weird.
Now we're going to have a jump in here from Z-Freak onto Ori and Lan M, dealing a decent amount of damage. But it's just harassment at the end of the day, as Ori is now level 7. Is not skilled at Stone Gaze as of... What level do you actually pick that up, normally?
It's situational, just depends. Once you feel like you're tanky enough, or... sometimes you put more points in the split shots so you can keep farming. It's hard for Complexity to leave this lane just because of the control VG have over it. If they leave, their tower is going to be getting hit all the time. And then at the same time, they want to use this Darkseer, right? You want to run to this guy's lane, just pressure the Bloodseeker, but there's such a big level difference at the moment that it's hard to do. And it probably requires 3 heroes. Monkey King's not enough. You need like Monkey King plus Rasta, or plus a core hero, but even mid lane just gets pushed in all the time. All these lanes are under heavy pressure, making it super difficult for them to move to one another.
Yeah, I mean, look at the CS discrepancy. The top 3 right now are on Vici in each respective lane. We're talking about a Sand King against an Ursa. Of course, it's not as simple as that because of the dual lane and tri-lane dynamic, but at the end of the day, still more CS for everybody on Vici Gaming at the current point in time.
When I see Ursa, I think a hero that dominates lanes, and that's just not happening at all.
Chessie's getting chased, he's getting an Earthshock off. Fenrir trying to do as much damage as he can. We do have TP support. Fenrir's going to have to Shallow Grave himself. Lots of damage being applied to Chessie. He will pop to that Caustic Finale. Young 11, though, might cost him his life as a result. Let's see if Complexity can clean up. There's a Burrow Strike into the TP. Looks like it'll be successful. And then meanwhile, Kyle getting chased, and that is a lot of damage. That's a 3-0 across the map, and Vici, again, getting every trade they want.
They managed to kill Darkseer as well. It's a disaster in every lane. Like, Complexity need to... It's so hard to pick and choose one lane to just go for, because at the same time, you're going to have to sack both your lanes to be able to make that kind of a play. And it's like, they just probably feel like they can't do anything at all.
Ori working towards that Mask of Madness right now. 4K lead at 9 minutes is... That's quite high.
It is high.
That's quite high. But If they can sneak in I was going to say sneak in Ursa. Well, you can sneak in Ursa into Roche, I suppose.
Yeah.
But at what level will that be possible?
He doesn't even have the skill build for it, though, right? He's got 2 levels of
that's
clap.
true.
So.
Yeah, he had to go to clap. Nope, we're going to have some
Doesn't have
action
his
here in the
mana
mid
shield
lane. Ori's taking so much damage to be able to clean him up, so Complexity get a very much needed kill. Lanham only level 4, but is able to scurry his way to safety. And Kyle, he is level 5 on the Shadow Shaman, so once he hits level 6, should be able to get a nice influx of gold with some tier 1 towers, perhaps.
Yep, that was a much needed kill. The net worths on the side of VG are super, super high in comparison to Complexity, right? Like, they need any kill they can get, and even though they have to dedicate so many heroes for it, it's totally worth it.
Moon now to the bot lane, level 6. And his farm, it's okay considering how this game is going, but not the typical farming game you'll see from him, especially on this hero. As we're going to have some action. Kyle's level 6, nice shackle.
That looks so funny.
Very long range. Chesty's going to pound into this Bloodseeker. There are the wards being placed as well. The Bloodright does connect, but to no avail. Meanwhile, top lane, Limp taking some damage from the epicenter, but it's a wasted ult at the end of the day. Young 11 getting initiated on a lot of damage as well. Shallow Grave is available. They're going to turn this around onto Z-Freak. The last right click from Fenrir is there. Young 11 looks like he will finally go down in this 1-for-1 trade at the top lane.
That's still very worth it for Complexity,
Yeah, Fenrir with no mana whatsoever. Limp biding his time, though. Being a little bit hesitant, maybe a little bit scared of TP support from Vici Gaming.
Yep, with only 1 more lance, he wouldn't be able to actually kill him. So.
I mean, we're talking literally the last minute. We have a 2K cut into that
they're
lead.
closing
Only
the
down
gap.
2K now.
And look at this.
Oh, Kyle. Going to get initiated by Lanham's Thunderclap. Ori's coming in. Kyle attempting to TP out. It's going to be close, but the last auto attack from Paparazzi is there. He is level 10, and this is a tier 1 tower for Vici.
You know, even though VG had a massive gold lead from the lanes, they didn't actually take any towers until now, which is very, very surprising. Typically, the big net worth is because of towers.
That's true.
Not the
It
skin.
was mostly just CS and
a
few extra kills on top of it.
They won all 3 lanes and had a really large CS advantage, but no towers means Complexity can still play the game.
Well, Complexity right now only down 2K, and Moo making his way towards this bot lane right now. As Young 11 has transferred himself up to here.
So what's big coming out? We had the roster wards thrown down bottom, helping secure a tower and a kill, which is very nice. It's their biggest timing that they can
that was
play
kind
off
of
for
a double whammy down there.
Yeah, the 2-for-1 special.
Burger King. Why did I say Burger King? It's the worst. Z-Freak getting close there. Paparazzi. He's going to get the blood right off into the rupture. It's going to connect. He sees the tree. Does he have a quelling blade?
One? He doesn't.
He doesn't. He eats the wrong one. And Z-Freak will live to see another day.
Eats the wrong one.
Lanham. He'll get the 4-second stun with the Thunderclap. Double crits. All right. Lanham.
He did the math there. He knew he was going to double crit.
Well, the first one's guaranteed. The second one, complete RNG.
Luck is on his side.
Indeed. Kyle does have Serpent Wards available, so we'll see if they position themselves for a potential tower in the mid lane. And as meanwhile, top lane, Vici will be pressuring the tier 1.
Okay, they're actually trying to defend this on the side of Cole. Heroes are set up and they're coming in.
Yeah, well, tower's getting pretty low. There's the fortification. Here comes Z-Freak. Boundless Strike onto 1. Looks like the Primal Split will be pop. Paparazzi getting quite low, but the Epicenter Burrow Strike combination dealing tons of damage and slowing heroes as Paparazzi's continuing getting chased here. Limp just needs 1 more Spirit Lance. He's not going to find it. It's too far away. And he's going to get turned on now. Burrow Strike into the Mystic Snake, and that is enough to take him out with ease as Vici Gaming is trying to turn this around now. Moo on the run. Won't get very far, though. And it looks like Vici Gaming will, at the very least, get this tier 1 tower. See if they can find anybody else as Chesty TP's out to safety. And Z-Freak, ooh, that was actually very close Burrow Strike.
I feel like they have no business defending towers at this point. You know, they're playing with Rasta, try to set up and just split push. You know, try to trade 1-for-1 because honestly at this point of the game it's so difficult to take any team fights, especially 5-on-5s, into the Brewmaster, into this tanky Sand King. It's super difficult.
I fear for this Ursa. We have a Radiance coming online. Well, being built, I should say, for Bloodseeker. Paparazzi. Yeah. We're talking about how much kiting potential they have already against the Ursa. Put that together with the mischance of Radiance, just the annoyance of this hero in general.
He can always, the Brewmaster Drunken Haze is a big problem for him in these fights. Sure, he can enrage to take it off, but sometimes you don't want to use that right away just to dispel it. You need it for tanking.
Yeah. Not only tanking, but they have so many other stuns and disables of different kinds, with whether it's mischance, slows, just any kiting potential whatsoever. You use that in rage, you can just pop it again.
He's got so many things to watch out for.
Exactly. I mean, do you think there's any different build he can go for to kind of mitigate that in any way, or is it just not worth it? Because Ursa feels like that hero, you can't really go down that road, right?
Maybe if he was ahead, he could afford to go for these items that help deal with that, but at this stage, I don't think so.
Or he's going to take out a small little ancient camp here. It's LanM. Level 8 on the position 4 Brewmaster, doing pretty well for himself. Has the urn intact. We'll be going for a Vlad's. Actually switches it up to Blink Daggers, so going to have even more initiation prowess for Vici this game.
Yeah, I feel like if you wanted to go for the Vlad's, he can get away with it since Sand King is their primary initiator. But this way, when he gets the Blink Dagger, they can kind of set each other up.
Right. They were checking out Roche, making sure that Ursa was not in there. In fact, looks like they might want to take it themselves, which this is a huge, huge get if they can do so.
They don't have the highest damage for Roche, but it's pretty safe because Dazzle can keep them sustained, healed up, and he can also haze the Roshan for mischance to keep them healthy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even about having the Aegis necessarily, it's about denying it for Ursa, because that hero feels like in a lot of ways just depends on.
Whenever I see Ursa or Drow lineups, I feel like they're super, super dependent on being able to take Roshan.
Right.
And once you take it away from those heroes, they don't feel as strong.
And the other scary thing, even if Complexity wants to try to defend this, you have to worry about a Blood Right, you have to worry about Stone Gaze, Epicenter, you have so many spells that work so well in this confined area.
It's a lot to walk into. And you think, oh, Darkseer, he's pretty good at defending the Roshan pit, but not when he's so far behind, right? You need more levels of Vacuum, you need a Blink Dagger to actually get in position to use your spells, and they're just not there yet.
Yeah. Well, Moo's getting there, slowly but surely. Only level 1 of Vacuum at the moment. Oh, Rupture almost coming after Paparazzi. Of course, he's the one that picks up the Aegis, has the Sacred Relic in tow, so just that recipe away, about 1,200 to go. And once he gets that, what does Complexity need to do? Do they need to try to shut him down before that Radiance comes online? Or like once he gets it, how do they stop this Bloodseeker?
I
assume he's going to go for BKB or something like that afterwards.
Yep, he's going to farm super fast once he gets the Radiance too. And honestly, they just have to deal with, VG's aggression. Like, they have a chance after Roshan's taken to try to catch some of these split pushers, because once you take the Aegis, you kind of fall back, and then you spend some time pushing your lanes out so you can converge on an objective without losing out too much on gold, but they're just not in position, not able to find the picks. They still need time for their own heroes to come on.
Oh, we have the Epicenter Burrow Strike combination. Only going to connect on one, but it's a very important hero. Limp, Doppelganger's away. Young 11 continuing to chase, takes a Spirit Lance to the face, and oh my god, the Caustic Finale was actually enough. As Limp falls to the ground. Ori in the meantime taking the tower down, but he does die to Chessie. That is a huge kill for Complexity.
That's exactly what they need to delay the aggression from VG.
Well, Vici's just going to continue to go down this mid lane as this tier 2 tower looks to be next. Z-Freak, he's jumping in onto 4 heroes. He jumps right back up. I mean, that's the benefits. Nice balance strike onto 2 into a wall, and Chessie's just going to blow up that Dazzle thanks to the shallow, thanks to the shackle shot. Young 11 on the run now. Seeing Paparazzi getting stuck inside the wards. Can they finish him off is the question. Wukong's command coming out as well. Not a whole lot of damage to speak of. It's a double kill for Chessie on the backside. Paparazzi now on the run with very low HP. Here comes Z-Freak again. Not able to connect though. And that might
be. They want him so bad.
Balance strike is online again as Chessie jumps in with that newly picked up Blink Dagger. That is the Aegis. Question is, can they get more out of this? LanM continuing the pressure onto Moog. Blood Right coming out. Paparazzi gets vacuumed up. A couple more right clicks should suffice, but here comes the Mystic Snake. Medusa, he's helping out, but it's a 2 for 2. And they do lose that Bloodseeker. Limp barely able to get away. But that overall pretty good fight for Complexity.
Super good. VG had Aegis and they had like a 9k gold lead at the beginning of that fight, and Complexity somehow managed to take that fight.
Yeah, Medusa right now. Very scary hero. But of course the Diffusal Blade is online now for the PL.
Yes, that'll help a lot. She's scary, but she's scary when you run into her, right? When you're kind of on the outskirts throwing lances in, you're surged up, running back and forth. She's not going to chase and kill you. It just won't happen. She's this immobile, tanky hero that just stands in the front lines. So as long as they can maneuver around it, play around the outskirts of the fights, it gets better for them.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be going for a Boots of Travel pickup here for Limp on the PL. Do you think that's the right choice this game?
He definitely needs it.
It feels a little greedy.
It does, but what other item is he going to get that changes how the game's being played? Nothing.
Yeah, you just want to split pushes to the highest degree you can.
Yep.
Join in on the fights. I mean, in the past I would have said Aghanim's, but I've given up on that one. It's pretty
You've
bad.
come back down to reality and realized that it's not good.
Yeah, I wish it was. I mean, it does help you split push, but it's such a huge investment, and
It is.
you need every item slot on PL to be effective.
It seems like one of these Aghanims that would be super, super good if it was pooled to you by Alchemist until you didn't have to actually
I would
waste the
agree
item
with
slot on that.
Yeah. And the talent tree for PL is pretty disgusting, actually.
Yeah, it's good.
That 30% critical strike at 25 is one of the most ridiculous things I've seen. It does a lot of damage.
Wow. Yeah, critical strike.
Because that's actually the problem with the PL is he kind of falls off normally.
He does fall off
the
the
game, but not
damage
with
a
that
lot.
skill. Is he going to be found out here? Jules is there. Looks like the Shallow Graves is going to be used on Fenrir. Tressie trying to right-click as much as he can. On the backside, we have Wukong's command
Medusa's
shackled. Yeah, Medusa is going to get destroyed by Complexity.
She died so fast.
And they continue the chase here as Ursa is getting controlled by the Brewmaster. He's just going to turn and destroy Fenrir in the meantime. Burrow Strike, they're trying to control that Ursa. He's getting quite low. Sandstorm is there as well. Chessie attempting to run away. Has the Enraged Papa will fall.
Bloodseeker solo.
The Paparazzi next on the list for Complexity. Huge kill after huge kill for them. They do lose the Ursa, but two ginormous cores with a lot of gold.
Complexity, they're finding all the angles for these fights. They managed to catch up Medusa in the back on the shrine. She got walled, warded, and hit by Wukong's command, and just stuck in there forever.
Yeah, it's all about the control in these fights. As you hear the Complexity fans in the crowd, Z-Freak finds Young 11. Just taking out the illusions for now. Looks like Young 11 is working towards an Aghanim Scepter. Does not work on illusions anymore, if I'm not mistaken. It used to cast apply Caustic Finale to all the illusions and just do a bazillion damage, but still an amazing Ags to have if he's able to get to that point. And Moo, he's working with the Helm and Hood. Looks to be finishing the pipe, and I would assume either probably a Blink Dagger, I would say. What do you think?
At some point, yeah.
I feel like they're just missing, like they just need that extra. They did find a Medusa there on the backside, but a lot of that's because of positioning.
Yep.
But Blink Dagger really allows you to jump in and
Once he has the Blink Dagger, then VG have to be super careful about how they take the fight.
Yeah.
If they clump up for that and another stun on top of it, then they could definitely get destroyed. So Medusa has died twice like that, back-to-back, where it feels like she did almost nothing. You know, she's not as tanky as she'd like to be currently. Needs that level 20 talent for the mana.
I didn't realize Echo Saber was already online for Z-Freak.
He's actually quite far,
well
isn't
for
he?
position 4.
Yeah, lots of CS.
And Ori, he's only about 1,000 away from finishing Scotty, and that is a huge item for Medusa. Tons of stats, the slow, and eventually when you hit 25, if he hits 25, you get that one talent. It's the only talent you actually care about on the hero.
25?
Yeah, split shot, uses modifiers, it's good.
It's quite good.
I mean, her other talents are pretty damn good as well, but...
Yep. You were talking about the interaction between Medusa and PL, how they're both kind of good against each other.
Yeah.
Like you have the Diffusal Blade mana burn illusions onto Medusa, which makes her a lot less tanky since she relies on mana to tank up. But at the same time, when Medusa gets to 25, right, the modifiers with something like a Mjolnir clears through them extremely quickly.
Right.
Even the other talent is pretty good. The +7 split shot, but probably not as good.
And it looks like Ursa's going to be building in Aghanims as well. So that's a lower cooldown on Enrage.
Yep.
And can... What else does it do? You can use it while stunned, I believe?
Yes.
Is that the Aghanims?
Yep.
Yeah. It's pretty strong. I assume you could just use that when you're Stone Gaze, so that huge counter that Medusa has against Ursa is kind of lost as a result.
Yeah, true.
You just right-click as much as you want, you turn into a stone, enrage, and keep right-clicking.
They don't have a whole lot of stuns as well, right? It's just that and the Sand King stun, so pretty easy for them to play around.
Yeah, Kyle, looks like the tower was denied this time around.
The gold lead was brought back completely. Now we have an even game.
Yes,
after
we do.
Complexity been on the back foot pretty much the entire game.
Yeah, these last two fights for Complexity have been definitely in their favor. And of course the tower discrepancy not as bad as it used to be, mainly because of Kyle on that Shadow Shaman. And looking at the items as a whole right now.
Interesting, Brewmaster went for the Hand of Midas. But, you know, it does secure his late game that he will have these items, Blink Dagger plus whatever else afterwards. It's good.
Yeah, especially for position 4, you're not going to find much farm on the map. And it basically ensures that if this game goes late, he will have the items he needs to go.
Yep, they want to make sure that they can play this late game, and it's funny to say that when you have a Medusa on your team, but it's needed.
I mean, as a position 4, do you change your what kind of build do you want to go on LAN M? You're not going to go for pure right click, that's for sure. Nothing like a Radiance because you already have it online.
No, I think it'll be more
There's more utility tank.
Yep, something like Shiva's Guard, Vlad's, that kind of a build.
Yeah.
The aura does carry over when he uses his ultimate, so it's good. Very good.
Young 11 getting closer and closer to the Aghanims for himself as the game is being brought back even. I mean, we're just talking about this lead being cut in. No fights have happened, and looks like Complexity is just finding more efficient farm across the map right now.
Yeah, they've just been taking these fights much better than VG have. They've been fighting these isolated heroes in the back, locking them down. You don't want to be isolated against Shadow Shaman at all. He disables you forever. And you don't have to worry about the skilling on Complexity. I mean, we were questioning how useful this Ursa was going to be into a lineup like VG's later on in the game, but he's been doing very well. It opens up the fight for all the other heroes, and he's still super strong.
And Roshan is actually online now, so if Complexity can win this next potential fight or pick off a person or two,
yeah, both
in fact, this is a double smoke. They're going to run into each other potentially.
Well, if they can find out,
it's going to be close. Yep.
They want to kill
Vici
Dazzle.
Gaming, they go straight into the Roche build. We'll see if Complexity can respond to this. They're going to wrap around. It looks like they're going towards that direction, but it's going to be too late. This is going to be another free Roche for Vici.
Oh man, it's like so fast.
Aegis and Cheese this time. And the Aegis will go the way of Paparazzi. I assume the Cheese on Medusa, one of the best heroes in the game to pick that bad boy up on.
And Cole had the right idea, just the timing for it was a bit off.
Yeah. Unfortunate for them, so does this mean they're going to have to play a little bit more passive while they wait for the Aegis, or we've been seeing a lot of aggression after the Roche from the
I think they still need to play aggressive. If they, back up and just sacrifice everything and give it all to VG, then they're just going to lose eventually by getting out farmed. They need to still make aggressive plays and to try to catch these heroes off guard. Look at the vision that they have down. It helps them see these heroes run to lane so they can set up before they even get there. So they can use that to try to pick some of these heroes off or perhaps start a fight on their terms. Like if they can blow up the Dazzle before the fight begins or the Sand King. Like
Kyle, he's going to find the Sand King, and there he goes, Chessie.
Very nice.
Able to blow him up immediately.
Yep, and that's all thanks to the wards. They had a ward in between the towers in the mid lane, so they saw him running down there. It's very nice.
Yeah, it's a 5v4 right now. Sand King dead for another 40 seconds. Does have buyback. Here comes another hex into the wards. Wukong's command as well. Big blood right coming out. That's a buyback on the Sand King, though. Have to keep that in mind if you're Complexity. In fact, they might want to back up, as it looks like Moo will fall first for Complexity.
Lose Moo, this would be
this would be huge.
Good.
They get a kill, they get a buyback, and they lose one hero. Definitely in favor of Complexity and Primal split down, so could potentially just turn this into another fight here pretty soon. Looks like the rupture is now applied, though, to the Ursa into an Epicenter. That's going to be an easy kill. So not exactly what Complexity was looking for. Could have been a lot worse, for sure.
Yep. Still not that bad. The game still goes on. They're probably going to lose this tier 2 tower mid since Ursa and Darkseer are still dead, but for how awkward that was, they happened to find all of VG under their tower, so now comes the buyback and they just have to run away, so could have been way, way worse.
The tier 2 tower now falls. 5k lead for Vici, as Ori and company are positioning themselves for high ground offense here.
What happened to Wukong's command in that fight? Did he have to leave the circle? I didn't even see it.
I don't know. He definitely popped it, and then it didn't last very long.
Yeah.
They were definitely on the retreat. There's some damage being done to the tier 3. In fact, a lot. As Ori, looks like Bloodseeker is going to get Cyclone for now. Kyle going to take a blood right to the face, but Ori just continue to right-click this tier 3. Look at that split shot go to work. That is a tier 3 tower down. Ursa is now online. We'll see how Vici Gaming responds to this. Still Cheese available for Medusa. That's fortification, or the pipe is actually there. My goodness, Siegfried gets blown up completely. They're going to turn around, though. Nice force staff onto Ori, keeping him safe.
Kyle solo on the side.
Yeah, LAN M and company are able to clean him up with ease. That is a second kill. He's going to buy back into the game, though.
They need the vacuum into the wall.
Either way, it's a 45. A nice wall. Young 11 looking for a burrow strike, not able to find it yet. Might apply it to Chessie here pretty soon. Chessie getting kited to a high degree. And this is going to be a free Rax for Vici. I think this is the right play for Complexity to let this go, as long as they don't lose anybody. Burrow strike, though. This could be a dieback onto Kyle if he's not careful. The Yules is there. Primal split pop. Looks like Vici Gaming is committing on this fight. Serpent Wards are placed before Kyle drops to the deck. Bloodright is there as well, but Enrage is going to keep Chessie alive for now. But this Vici Gaming lineup is just cleaning up Complexity. Triple kill for Paparazzi, and with that fight, you have to think that a second Rax is potentially, although the Tier 2 towers are online, so they might have to back up into that. Or they could go for Tier 3, Tier 4s
They want to end this game.
Yeah, they want to end this. There's 3 on the deck.
God, this
they
game
know
was,
Rasta has no buyback.
This game was so even up until that second Roche. Like, if Complexity manages to take that, we still have an even game that's probably going for a really long time.
Right. Paparazzi getting pretty low. Doesn't have really any creeps to heal up on. His Limp trying to defend this. Of course, if Complexity lose, they are out of this tournament. 1 Tier 4 tower down, the next being pounded upon. Ursa up in 20 seconds. Zephyrix gonna have to pop his Wukong's command. Last ditch effort here for Complexity as Limp getting completely focused. Boundless Strike is there. He's gonna buy back on that PL. And the Tier 4 tower still taking damage. It looks like Vici might want to fall back now as the Urn applied to Paparazzi gets canceled right off the bat. Either way, that is about an 11K net worth swing for Vici.
Yep, they got
in
a
the
ton
last
of kills,
2 minutes.
All the buildings and even buybacks as well.
And they're just going to go back, collect they're going to put their gold to good use.
Yep.
And see what items they come up with. It's going to be Vlad's onto the Brewmaster. Ori, what's he working on now? Looks like a full Mjolnir.
Yep,
not too far away.
Whew. They couldn't even get through the cheese Medusa. They threw so many spells at her, but it doesn't even matter.
I thought the Vac wall looked really good, too. I was a little bit surprised it didn't do more damage.
The first vacuum that came out was pretty good with the wall, but then you have to wait. You gotta wait like 32 seconds for the next one to come up. It's an ultimate.
Yeah, he has 2 ultimates.
Yep.
That's definitely the case.
But it did look good, right? Perhaps if some more heroes were alive and they could throw some more spells on top of that as it came out, like the Ursa blinked it and clapped and slowed a minute. There's a bit more, then it could have been a bit better, but
yeah, for sure.
Not enough.
Well, Aegis, of course, not online anymore. Do they don't really need to wait for the third Aegis. Of course, that'll drop not only cheese, but the refresher shard. We'll see how disciplined Vici is and how they want to approach this game. But in your opinion, can they just go down another lane at this point?
They can just sit behind the Medusa and do the exact same thing where she just sits there, hits the base. But of course, there's still the Dazzle Shallow Grave.
This is going to be a big attempt here for Complexity onto the Medusa. Pops the cheese, though, and is at full HP as a result and full mana as well. Primal Split is popped.
Ursa's
in addition, yeah, Ursa getting kited, just completely stone gaze. Double kill for Ori. And Paparazzi on top of that. 3 dead for Complexity as Vici Gaming looking to finish this game in style. Looks like the PL is next, and the last remaining member of Complexity is Z-Freak. And that'll be a complete team wipe and nobody even harmed on the side of Vici Gaming.
Yep, just a complete steamroll in that team fight. They're just way too far behind at this point of the game.
GGs are called. Vici Gaming are now secured top 4 in Captain's Draft as Complexity will have to go home.
Yep, well played both teams. You know, the end of the game looked super one-sided, but honestly, if they were able to take the second Roche on the side of Complexity, this game would still be more.
Yeah, I feel like the Roshans can't be underestimated. Vici, of course, with that early lead, allowed them to be able to position themselves to actually get the early Roshans, but just taking that away from Ursa is such a huge deal.
The second Roshan could have gone to either team. The first one, not defendable at all by Complexity, but just what happens, right?
It is what it is. So Vici, now in top 4, already secured themselves some extra DPC points, I believe it's called, DCT.
That sounds awful.
It sounds like a drug, it really does. As we see the handshakes on stage now from each respective team. And with that, looking on towards the next match is going to be OG versus Empire. Should be a very interesting one, to say the least.
Yep.
Have yet to see OG on main stage, and they're kind of Captain's Draft masters. No Tail and Fly have basically won every tournament we've ever run.
Wow.
Essentially, other than the Captain's Draft 3, I suppose. They haven't won with OG, though. They won with Secret in Season 2, and then Fnatic in Season 1. So very excited to see what they can come up with. But before we go to that match, we're going to go to a quick break and see what the panel have to say about this series.